Hello and welcome to InfoHub. We hope you had a good CARICOM day yesterday. Here is what you need to know for Tuesday, July 3, 2018. CARICOM's 39th Heads of Government meeting on the way in Jamaica. 2 bridges are better than one, says Minister Harman. Exxon Mobil pumps $2 billion into innovative environmental projects. Drones are all the rage, and the Minister of Agriculture says they can help farmers. And the Alliant Pompey Invitational lived up to expectations. And now for the details. We begin with the news that CSME implementation and climate change matters feature high on the agenda as the 39th CARICOM's Heads of Government meeting gets underway in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Our senior videographer, Kwesi Wishart, has traveled with President David Granger, and this is our first report.
The meeting opens on July 4 and concludes on July 6. Secretary General of CARICOM, Ambassador Erwin LaRocque, said Thursday and Friday are working sessions to address agenda items.
With the first day devoted to the CARICOM single market and economy, there will also be a discussion on that day, along with the CSME, on the Golden Commission report. There's been a review of the CSME. I'm sure you've been hearing about it. We reported on that at the last meeting, relating to previous decisions and commitments and an implementation plan with timelines which has been set out. Earlier this month, we heard the views of various stakeholders. I held a stakeholder consultation in Georgetown, in June it was, to hear from them their perceptions on the CSME and how best to make it more effective. And these views will also be presented during the discussions to our heads of government.
Disaster management and recovery is another major item on the agenda.
These discussions will be taking place against the background of the need to build a climate-resilient community. The effects of climate change are a major challenge quite apart from the megastorms. Other events such as prolonged droughts and unseasonal heavy rainfalls also require us to examine our preparedness. The Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency is having a series of meetings on building resilience and disaster risk management starting today in Montego Bay. And the results of those sessions will be reported to the heads of government when they meet.
Heads of all 15 member states will be attending the meeting. The conference will also welcome Barbados' new Prime Minister, Mia Mottley, and re-elected Prime Ministers of Grenada, Dr. Keith Mitchell, and Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown. Ambassador Erwin LaRocque noted the presidents of Chile and Cuba will also be in attendance.
The President of Chile, His Excellency Sebastián Pinera, and the President of Cuba, His Excellency Miguel Díaz-Canel, will be our special guests. President Pinera is no stranger to us in our community since he interacted with our heads, I think, in 2012. And the newly elected President, Díaz-Canel, of course, only having been sworn in as President, will be interacting with our heads of government for the first time, although Cuba is no stranger to interacting with our Caribbean community.
The conference will open on Wednesday evening. Incoming Chair and Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, will be addressing the opening along with Ambassador LaRocque. Outgoing Chair, President of Haiti, Jovenel Moïse, will also make an address. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
With the government soon to commence construction of a new bridge across the Demerara River, Minister of State Joseph Harman said there is no reason for the current floating bridge to be decommissioned. Details from Alexis Rodney.
At the 40th anniversary of the Demerara Harbour Bridge at the Guyana on Sunday, Minister Harman announced his intention to lobby for the current Demerara Harbour Bridge's upkeep even after the new one is completed.
I am from over there and I understand what happens in the morning, and therefore 2 bridges are better than one. I see absolutely no sensible reason to decommission one when you have another one. So from over there, where I'm responsible for politically, I would want to say that I will lend my voice to that chorus which says that we should keep both bridges.
The new Demerara River Bridge will see the construction of an approximately 1,851-meter-long fixed 4-lane structure with a movable span and 2 approach roads of a total length of 600 meters. The project is scheduled to start later this year and completed by 2020. Minister Harman noted that after 40 years of existence, the Harbour Bridge has stood the test of time. The bridge was constructed in 1978 and designed by engineer Joseph Holder with a projected 10-year lifespan.
It is now 30 years beyond that expectation, and still going strong. This, therefore, is testimony to the quality and durability of infrastructural work that was done in the 1970s.
For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Oil giant Exxon Mobil will pump $2 billion into innovative environmental projects in partnership with Conservation International and the University of Guyana. Tiffany Rogers has more.
Conservation International is the grantee and the University of Guyana is the beneficiary. Over the next 5 years, Conservation International Guyana and UG will train Guyanese for sustainable job opportunities and to expand community-supported conservation. Conservation International Guyana will conduct a feasibility study to define the details of the program. President of Exxon Mobil Foundation, Kevin Murphy, said the partnership will support the highest conservation priorities in Guyana. Murphy noted the funding reinforces the government's Green State strategy while demonstrating the company's long-term relationship with Guyana. The investment is also intended to expand conservation areas in the Rupununi wetlands, aid mangrove restoration and management and support improvements to community-based fishing on Guyana's coast and support the work of the University of Guyana's Greening Research and Innovation Centers. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
The Cheddi Jagan Airport began testing those brand new air bridges on Friday. Renetta LaFleur was there and saw them in action for the first time.
The newly upgraded Cheddi Jagan International Airport, CJIA, will boast new boarding bridges among many other features when the expansion works are completed at the end of 2018. Recently, the boarding corridor and one of the boarding bridges were successfully tested by CJIA's Engineering and Technical Department staffers. These new features were also well received by several departing passengers.
This is wonderful. I love it. It's amazing. We are progressing. Thank you.
It looks fantastic. I'm glad this is. I think this is the first one. So glad to be on it. Yeah, it's a big moment for Guyana.
It's nice to be back, and the progress is phenomenal. So looking forward back again.
Today is a good day. It's a great day. It's a wonderful day. It's a day that we looked forward to with hope and optimism. And I want to congratulate the Cheddi Jagan International Airport Corporation for their work to bring this forward. I want to also congratulate the government of Guyana and the people of Guyana for believing in this dream and working together collectively to give us a wonderful new airport and jetways.
The CJIA expansion project is a US $150 million initiative which President David Granger has described as the gateway to a modern Guyana. The new bridges can accommodate all sizes of aircraft. From CJIA with videographer Leon Leung, I am Renetta LaFleur for InfoHub.
Thanks for staying with us. Minister of Agriculture Noel Holder is urging farmers to invest in drone technology. Here's more.
Drones are remotely piloted aircrafts. They can be beneficial to the agricultural sector, particularly farmers, through crop field scanning with compact multispectral imaging sensors, GPS map creation through onboard cameras, heavy payload transportation, and livestock monitoring with thermal imaging. According to an article in the Guyana Chronicle July 3rd edition, Minister Holder is quoted as saying that the drone technology in agriculture can be extremely useful in improving farmers' productivity. He said, and I quote, "Our current system of agronomic practices in many sectors is not very efficient given the growing demand of certain commodities. For example, in the rice industry, persons with a smaller cultivation are still manually applying insecticides and fertilizers." End quote. The Agri-Minister also noted that many farmers do not have the correct information about their cultivation size, but drones can help in that sense. He said, and I quote, "Drones have the ability to conduct surveys and tell farmers exactly how many acres are under cultivation. With this information, farmers would know how many bags of fertilizer are needed, how many seeds are needed, etc. So overall, the use of drones in agriculture is welcomed and it can definitely improve the sector." End quote. Additionally, according to the information gathered from the Food and Agriculture Organization's publication titled Agriculture in Action, Drones for Agriculture, It stated that the use of unmanned aerial vehicles, also known as drones, have great potential to support and address some of the most pressing problems faced by agriculture in terms of access to actionable real-time quality data. The publication also noted a researcher's prediction that the agriculture sector will be the second largest user of drones in the world in the next 5 years. It noted too that the challenges faced by agriculture from climate change alone are enormous, and the need for farming communities to adapt and become resilient is key to feeding the world's growing population. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
59 graduates of the Sapphire Training Center were on Friday last challenged to choose change in order to grow. Here are the details from Seneca Thorne.
The graduates are beneficiaries of the Citizen Security Strengthening Program, Component 1. Guest speaker Chandel France of the Ministry of Natural Resources drew on her life's experiences and challenged them to change.
You have to choose to change. If you don't change, you won't grow. Change is the one thing that is constant, to my mind. That's purely Chandel. Change is the one thing that is constant. Things will change, right? And as you start to move, the path will appear in terms of where you want to go. And the final thing I want to say to you is when you get out, that's what I did. When you get out, help somebody else to get out.
Minister of Public Security Cameron Ramthajan noted that the program, similar to the CSSP, helped to reduce crime and youth violence in other countries. He also charged the graduates to continue to improve and develop their skills, which he said will be in high demand as Guyana becomes an oil-producing nation.
You must now realize that it is at the individual effort being made, at the individual level, you will make that endeavor to read more, to continue to ask those who are professional in the jobs in these areas so that you can learn more. Don't feel that it's the end.
IDB country representative Sophie McKinnon was represented by Mariko Russell, who expressed the hope that the graduates will be able to use the newly acquired skills in their future endeavors in life. The IDB-funded skills training program currently has almost 1,000 students interested in being trained in September. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
And in our final report, Kirani James on Saturday delivered a spectacular performance in front of scores of spectators, comfortably winning the highlight 400-meter race at the Alliant Pompey Invitational. Isaiah Braffett was there and filed this report.
The Olympian's performance was nothing short of spectacular. James completed his race in 44.99 seconds, comfortably finishing ahead of Chiddi Okizi of Nigeria and Guyana's Winston George.
We had some rain earlier, so that kind of affected preparation, but yeah, I'm happy. I just try to work on some things, figure some things out and see how I recover, stuff like that after the race. So it's a work in progress still.
Also putting on a show for the fans was scholarship student Emmanuel Archibald, who clocked 10.92 seconds to win the men's 100-meter race.
I feel like very excited. Never expect to win it, but I came out here, execute as my coach said, and today I did it well.
Participating on home soil for the first time in the triple jump event was Commonwealth gold medalist Troy Doris, who finished 4th behind Donald Scott of the United States, Christian Naples of Cuba, and Suriname Miguel Van Hassen, who finished 3rd.
Glad to be in front of the home crowd, build my confidence for the rest of the season. I think a lot of people are waiting for me to come home, so I'm just glad to be here and give them a show. Unfortunately, the performance wasn't what I wanted it to be today, but all that matters is the presence and the energy was brought.
This year's Alliant Pompey Invitational meet featured over 100 athletes from 25 countries competing in 17 track and field events. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
And now for your bridge and weather reports. We leave you with the results from the Alliant Pompey Invitational Athletics meet last Saturday, the Caribbean Basketball Championship and the World Cup match results for today. Goodbye.